Good morning, traders, and welcome to Trading Waves live trading room. Right. So in this session, guys, we will be looking at the trade setup, the one that are currently running, and the one that failed, if there are any that failed, and also we'll be looking at the potential setups. Okay. So just excuse me if you hear some noise in the background. I just had a little princess a few days ago. Right. Let's look at US dollar JPY. That is the current trade that is running. Let's look at that. Let me just clear this here. Let me just admit this audio. Let me clear all this. Let's look at the US dollar JPY. US dollar USD JPY. US dollar JPY is not there. US dollar JPY. This is one of the trade that is running. So I just want to explain, guys, why we decided to take this trade here. So this is what we are looking at. This is just a wave 5 that we are trading here. Wave 5 in the minute degree. So this is what you are looking at. We had this here as a 1, 2, 3, and we are looking at this here as a corrective structure. This is a running flat corrective structure, and you are trading this move to the upside. So you guys should be familiar, but now wave 5 can be tricky. It can be tricky. So I want you guys, if you have a room here, to log this one, especially if it comes and take this high here, you can just break even, because we might find that it won't go all the way yet. Yes, this is the potential target. This is what we've measured, that it must get there. But because this is a wave 5, it can, from nowhere, it can just caught us off guard, and then it does a truncation, and in that case you'll just have something like this, and then you get a move to the downside. But because we are still in wave 3 of this minute degree, so there is a high possible that this might go all the way or even go higher. So we just hold that one, but if you get an opportunity to break this one even, especially if they take this higher, you'll have to break even on that one, because there's always an alternative structure that the market can do. Okay, so you can have this here as a 1, 2, 3. You can just have a connector here, and then you get another three wave done, and then a move to the upside before it goes. So this will just be a simple WXY structure. So this is very highly possible that it can happen. So that's why if you get to this level, you must just break this one even. But if it does break there, it will be more of like a confirmation that we are going to get this move to the upside. Right. Right. Let's see if uh, the next trade that we should be having should be silver. Okay, let's go on silver. Uh, Please, those who just joined us now, can you just please mute on your side? I'm still hearing some noise in the background. Just make sure that you are muted. All right, silver, we're looking at this here as this move is done. So we are having this leading diagonal. We are looking at this as our wave 1 here. This is our wave 1 that we're looking at here. So we are looking at this here as a wave 1 in a minor degree. So we are looking at this year as completed, but there is a possibility that this might not have completed. So if that's the case, we are going to have our trade on a loss. Why am I saying that? Because I've been expecting silver that it will come as far as the 100%. I was expecting that we are going to get the blue box, but let me just measure this blue box I'm referring to. I was looking at this move here. This is the blue box that I was expecting we're going to get. Just hold, guys. Just hold. Just wanna try and make sure that everyone is muted. Participants. All right, so everyone is muted now. So we're looking at this. I was expecting that we are going to get this move at least to come around this area here, but it just terminated here, and now we had this here as a leading diagonal. This is a 5-wave leading diagonal. I'm sure you guys can agree with me. So we're looking at this here as a 5 ways leading diagonal here as a wave one, and we're expecting that this is going to be a wave two. When this trade was posted when we're around here, so I was looking at this here that this is a 3 wave structure and we're ready to go. But seem like silver wants to give us this leg to the downside, so it's okay. We're gonna take a loss here. Hope it's not a big hit to everyone. So that's why we always encourage that we at least risk 1% to 2% of your account. So silver, if it breaks this low here, highly possible that we are going to come to this blue box here. Then from here, we'll be expecting that we get this move to the upside. So we just have to keep this one on our watch list. Even if we get this one on a loss, let's just keep it on our watch list for that move to the downside, because I'm definitely sure that move to the upside will come. So we just have to wait for it to go to the blue box there, and then we'll be looking for buying opportunities there. So this might just be a wave, this might just be a wave four here. Why was I looking at this as completed? Because I was looking at this here as a one, two, a three, and this here as a four here, and I'm looking at this as a wave five. And you can see this wave five, look like it's got 5 waves on its own. One, two, three, four, five. So this is why I was convinced that this move has ended. Remember, the market does not have to go to the blue box to this 100% extension, but it will be very nice to start trading here. But if we get a truncation, because if we get a truncation, because our wave C can even come around this area here, 61.8. So in this case, we're looking at that it has just truncated. So we might have been wrong here, and this is just a one, two, this is a three. All this thing that is happening here, this is our wave four, and we are getting this last leg for wave five before we can get that move to the upside. All right. Yeah, Matt, I've just muted everyone. All right. So those are the two trades that we have currently running. I hope the other trades that, like, because we had like a Euro US dollar and we also had like AUD, they did not play out. I hope that was covered yesterday, but we can always just go back and look at them. What is the current structure? What is happening with those pairs now? Right. So let's start with pound US dollar. One of the interesting pair that I'm looking at. One of the interesting pair, is it possible that the silver makes a WXY? Okay, let's see here. The WXY, what you'll be looking at. So you'll be looking at this year as a W here, and then this year as a possible X, and you'll be expecting that we have a Y. So that is possible, but the problem is if we make this, if this is what you are talking about here, I'm not sure who's asking, but it's just a user. If you are looking at this, that you're going to get a 3 waves, it's very possible that you are going to have this invalidated. Let me just show you on a 4 hourly. What I mean, it might be invalidated them. Okay, let's see here. It might not be invalidated. Let's see if, I hope this is what you are asking for, that this is a W, this is an X here, and then we are looking for that move to the downside. It will be invalidated because I'm not expecting that silver can come here. So if it does that WXY structure and decides to come at the equal legs 100% here, then it means it is going to invalidate that wave count there, because I'm not expecting it to come and trade at this level here. So that's why I'm still looking at this here as a wave four, and then this wave five here, and then expecting this move to the upside. But anything is possible in the market. If it does that and it invalidates us, then we'll have to relook at the whole structure. But you can see from the daily time frame, you can just refer to the website. The move to the upside is going to come. It's just that now they are just still finishing up this corrective structure here. So the move to the upside will definitely come. Right. I hope you are satisfied, the user. Let me just quickly take a look at pound US dollar. GBP USD. GBP USD. Right, pound US dollar. This is one of the trade that we need to keep it on our watch list. Unfortunately, I don't have any trade that are just that we can execute anytime soon. I'm just forecasting this trade here. This is one of the trade that we have to look at. So I'm expecting that we're going to have this structure here, and I would love to trade pound US dollar if it crawls all the way down here. Okay, so like trading WXY like a pro. So we might get a bounce around somewhere here on a pound US dollar. If you get a bounce and then it is going to be 50% from this here to this low here, then we can trade this one to the downside, because definitely sure this move to the downside, if we get a bounce here, it is going to come. We can trade it, but we need to be very mindful because the trend is to the upside. So I wouldn't want to trade against the trend. So preferable, I suggest that we wait for this one to come to the blue box, especially now that it is here. But if we get a bounce, we might look to have a structure like this. If we get a structure like this, then we will measure a blue box that will possibly come around this area here, and then we can trade this one to the downside before we decide to take it to the upside. This is one of those definitely sure moves that are going to come. So when pound US dollar gets around this area here in the blue box, we buy this one. And if we buy here inside the blue box, you have to put your stop loss below this blue box here. Alternatively, if you're a bit skeptical to trade this blue box here, you know that you have to wait for an impulsive move and then get a confirmation for a move higher. But for me, I'll like to trade this one here immediately when it gets to the box. Then I'll be looking to trade this one. So there are a couple of pairs like this one, especially on the US dollar pairs that are approaching the blue boxes. So we just watch pound US dollar. Let me just do the fibs here. Let's see. Okay, so you can see that we are around this area here. This area here, 1.618 and 0.746. This is where I'm expecting that we might get a bounce here. We might get a bounce here. And if you take your fibs, let me just remove this one here. Then you'll have to take your fibs here if you want to trade this one. If you get a move to the upside like this here, you get a move. Let me show you this on a 1 hour. Let me show you this on a 1 hour. And I'll also have a look of on the indicator, what is happening with the indicator. Okay, so this here, this is not a blue box. I'm just measuring that range between 0.618 and 0.746. So I'm expecting that we are going to have a bounce here. So if we get a bounce here, and then this bounce goes around 50 to 61.8, if this bounce goes here around this area here, then this will be one of those definitely showcase trades that we are going to get to the downside. But like I've said, you need to trade very cautiously, because we will be trading against the trend here. But I would love to see, it's either we get this move to the upside, it's either we get this move for us to trade this move to the downside, or alternatively, if this crawls all the way come here, we just wait for this buy move here. But if they come here, then we're looking to trade this one to the downside before they go up. Right, so I hope that is clear there, what to do, how to approach pound US dollar. Right, let's look at AUD US dollar. Before I go there, let's look at the indicator. Starting from the 4 hourly. Right, so you can see that the momentum on the indicator on the pound US dollar is showing the downside. So that downside is just that move to the downside there. So this is just a confirmation that we are going to get this move to the downside. I would love to have this move pushing higher to around this area here, and having our stock to reset at the top while our RSI still stays below 50. That will be an almost guaranteed trade. Right, so on a 1 hourly, let's see what we have there. So on a 1 hourly, we still have the RSI just still below the 50 mark. The RSI is just below the 50 mark here, and we love to see this one staying here, but I'm expecting that we get a bounce here. So there's nothing to do at the moment. There's nothing to do. If they don't get this bounce, we don't trade this one up until they get to the blue box, and then they move higher. AUD US dollar. So if you guys have got any pairs that you are looking at, please feel free to share them. Then we can just have a look at them. Right, so similar to what is happening with AUD USD, I'm expecting that we are going to get a bounce here on AUD USD. We are going to get this bounce to the upside. At least this move to the upside must be like 50%. Must be 50% of that last leg of Y. So if we get a bounce here, let me just clear some of this. If we get a bounce here to come around this area here, 50 to 61.8 area around here, then we'll be looking to trade AUD US dollar to the downside. At least our target should be at around that blue box there. And then at that blue box, we will be looking for that move to the upside because we are looking at this whole structure as a WXY. Yep. It's the 3 waves down to the downside, 3 waves up. Now we are, excuse me. Now I'm expecting that we get these 3 waves to the downside there. So we get this bounce, then we'll be looking to trade this move to the downside there. Okay. Let's see what we have there on the indicator. Right, so I'm not sure if you guys have gone through the video that I've shared yesterday. So if you look at my blue box here, I'm not, this is my invalidation level. I'm not expecting that AUDSD can come and trade here because we are looking to trade this wave 4 here. So I'm not looking. So now you'll be asking, you'll be wondering why is my blue box in this case smaller? Initially, our blue box is 100 to 123.6. But because when we trade on a blue box, our stop loss need to be below or above 1.618. So that's why you'll see some of the blue boxes that they are bigger, unlike this one here. This one is just smaller because I'm not expecting that AUDUSD can come and trade at this level. If it comes and trade here, then it will be invalidating the whole count. Okay, let me just read that question. How can you assure that 3 waves wasn't WX accumulated? The last leg consists of 3 wave side. Okay, okay. I get your question. You are looking at this that how am I sure that this is not a completed Y in green? Okay, I'm just looking at the size. Look at the size of this one here and look at the size of this one. It does not match to me. So at least I can only consider this once it's at least it must be big enough, maybe equal to this one here. Okay, I've always said this before. I've always said this, but maybe some of you won't be aware. If we are going to have a WXY structure, it's very common that you are going to have an ABC here. This is the case. But this idea, you might not have a 3 waves ABC. These 3 waves here might just be a WXY, which is going to be a W, and then you get the 3 wave for an X, and then you still get another 3 waves. But in but it's the same as this side here. This is going to be the same move. It's just that this side there, they are making it a 7 swing on its own, unlike this 3 wave swing here of ABC structure. I'm not sure if you get what I'm saying there, but the degree of this move is not equal to this one. At least they need to be equal for me to consider that this has ended. Apart from that, the WXY structure, I would love to see this terminating at this blue box here. I'm looking at this here as an equal legs. Then I would love to get this here before I take this move to the upside. While AUDUSD is below 0.78, I'm still looking for this move to the downside. So the only time that I'm going to consider to trade this one and say it has ended is only if it comes and starts to trade above that level. And then I can consider and say the move to the downside might have already ended. But for now, I'm still looking for this one more leg to the downside. Okay, awesome. I'm glad you get it. Right, let's look at the indicator starting from the 4-hourly. Let's see what does it tell us then. We'll look at Bitcoin. I know Dr. Ben requested that we look at Bitcoin. Right, so the indicator is just confirming that we are still on a downside. The RSI is still below 50 here. So what I would love to see happening here is this: we get this bounce to around this area here, and then we get the RSI retesting the 50 and have our stock resetting at the bottom, and then I'll be looking for that move to the downside, which will be traded. This is like 150 pips, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll be looking to trade this move, but this needs to confirm staying below 50, RSI resetting, structure first, and then we'll be looking to take this move to the downside here. All right. So this you can always refer to trading WXY like a pro. So that is what is currently happening here. So similar thing to NZD USD. So the US dollar pairs are setting up the same. They are setting up the same, yes. So we're still expecting that we are going to get this move to the downside, yeah. So we are still looking for this. At least it must come at equal legs at 100. Then from here, we'll be looking for this move to the upside here, because we are looking at this here as a three wave to complete this wave four here. So the RSI is still below 50 here. So I'd love to see this one retesting here and then this one resetting. At least we have a bounce here and then a move to the downside, just like what is happening on AUD US dollar. Okay, on a 1 hourly, I'm still expecting. We've already broken below here, but I'm still expecting that we are going to get this bounce. If we don't get that bounce and then it cross lower like this, then we can start to look to buy this one here. But what we have to do is we can't just trade one pair alone. We have to apply some form of a correlation. If we get a NZDUSD coming here in the blue box first, we'll just have to see and the other US dollar pairs across the board. If pound USD gets to the blue box and AUD gets to the blue box, then we will be safe that we can execute this, because you can have NZDUSD getting into the blue box while the other USD pairs are not yet in there. So you'll have to at least play sideways in the blue box and then wait for the other US dollar pairs before it can all resume higher. Right. Let's see here. What else do we have? Dollar index, I think this one is a must that we talk about it every time we're in a live trading room, because this is the driver of the market. This is the driver of the market. So I'm still expecting. So we've been looking at this structure here. We've been looking at this structure here. This is a WXY. So it is very common that the market will get into the blue box, they leave it, and they come back and retest it. In this case here, I'm expecting that we are still going to get this move here. Once we get this move around here and the other US dollar pairs are getting into their blue boxes, then it is very likely that we are going to start to get this move to the downside. For now, just wait for this one more move to the upside before we drop. Okay, let's see here. Right, so there's just nothing here. We'll just let's see here. Right, let's look at pound pairs. Pound pairs. Okay, we'll start with pound New Zealand. I'm just looking at the pairs that have got blue boxes, guys. Pound New Zealand. Right, so pound New Zealand, I'm looking for this move to the downside here. So we've already got this move to the upside that we're looking for. Now I'm expecting that we start to get a move to the downside here. This is what I'm looking for. But this blue box might extend up to like 1.618. So you can see that if we decide to take this trade here, now the stop loss needs to be above this 1.618. So now why am I not giving a go ahead that we can execute this trade here? Is because I'm looking at NZD US dollar. If you look at the market right now, it is not driven by the pound pairs, especially pound NZD. What is driving this is the NZD US dollar. I'm expecting that NZD USD gets into the blue box, gets into this blue box here before I can have pound NZD, before I can consider to sell NZD, pound NZD. Okay, so I'm still expecting a little bit of a push to the upside and then a move to the downside. That move to the upside might come as far as like 138.2. This is one of the special levels. The market loves to get into this level here before we drop. So if they get around this area here, then you can look for a move to the downside without me being there or posting it. Just be just put this one on your watch list. This is going to be a nice trade to the downside. I'm not just looking at this alone. I'll show you on a Euro NZD. Euro NZD, you'll see here, I was also expecting this here. So I'm looking at this here as a C wave. So there's still a possibility that we might get one more leg up here, one more leg up to complete this C wave here, because I'm looking at this here as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 I'm looking at. 1, 2. This is a wave 3. What is happening is wave 4, wave 5. That will possibly come with divergence. Then we can start to look for a move to the downside on both pound NZD, Euro NZD, and also the New Zealand US dollar. Okay, let's look at the indicator. For hourly, it must be pointing upside as expected. Let's see here. So you can see that we are already at the upside here on New Zealand, Euro New Zealand. We've got the RSI is just resetted at the bottom. So this move I'm talking about to the upside, it will come. The RSI is just the stock just resetted at the bottom while the RSI is at the peak. And then this is a possibility. You see, it's at the peak. This might be a wave 3 here. I'll show you. I'll go back to 1 hour and show you. So this is going to be a move that is going to come here. We're at the top. We're just resetting here, and we're expecting structural. We're expecting that we get one more leg to the upside before we can get this move to the downside. Possible here we might form a divergence, but let me just show you that on a 1 hourly. What I mean. All right. So you can see that you. Remember, between wave 3 and wave 5, you're expecting that you're going to have some form of a divergence, right? So this might be the peak here. So this might start to do this. It might do this and come back and do this, but don't take this higher. If it does that, then it will be a nice divergence, because what you'll get here, you'll get this move to the upside. This is our wave 3 here. This will be a wave 4 and a wave 5. And if you can get a divergence while you're in the blue box, this will be the almost trade that will be guaranteed for this move to the downside here. So keep that one on our list. But for now, just expect that one more leg to the upside. Right. Let's see, what else do I have them before I go to Bitcoin. I've got AUD CAD and NZD CAD, right? Need to talk about this one because I'm looking at the structure here. Okay, so I'm looking at this corrective structure here. Let me just start from the 4 hourly on AUD CAD. Why are we looking for that move to the upside? Because we are having this. This is an ABC structure. Let me just zoom that out so that you guys can see it. So this is a 5-wave move to the upside, forming that wave A there. That wave A, looking at this as a wave B, and now we're expecting a move to the upside for wave C. So we're looking at this here as a 5 waves up. This is a 5 waves up, completing that wave 1. Now we are here. This is the structure where we are. I'm expecting that we get this here around the blue box, and then after that, we'll be expecting a move to the upside. Let's see here what we have on the indicator. So far, the indicator is still confirming a move to the downside. So it might be just this last leg that we are waiting for before we get a move to the upside on a 1 hourly. This is what I'm looking at here. I'm looking at this structure here. This is the 3-wave to the downside here for this W here, and this is our X. Now I'm expecting that we complete this one more leg to the downside. I'm still expecting at least one more leg come around here. If it gets here, then I'll be executing my trade with my stop loss around below this blue box here, because I'll be expecting for this move to the upside here. I'm not expecting any divergence here. I'm not expecting any divergence. The only divergence that you can see will be a divergent on this internal here. If you get a divergence internally here on this last C wave, then that will be also a confirmation that we are going to get this move to the upside here. And this is going to happen nicely because we're expecting AUDUSD to go into the blue box. So this one, AUD CAD, might be going to the blue box. And then when you get that move on AUDUSD, we also get this move here on AUD CAD. All right, so similar to what is happening with New Zealand CAD. Let me clear that. New Zealand CAD is already in the blue box, but I'm not trading it for some reason. I'm still expecting NZDUSD to trade lower into the blue box as a major pair. So we might get this one coming around here before we get this move to the upside here. So I'm looking at this three-wave structure. This is the three-wave structure I'm looking at, and it has already landed into the blue box. If I execute a trade now, I'll just have to put my stop loss here. This is my invalidation level. I'll put my stop loss around there. But this is what you need to have on your watch list for these moves here. Right, let's see here. We've had some request on. Let me see here if I'm done with this piece. Brent crude. Right, so Brent crude, I'm still expecting that we are going to get one more leg to the upside. I'm looking at this structure here. I'm looking at this possible that we might have this structure before we can trade it. But for now, I'm not having a blue box there because this wave B is not yet finished. So we still need to have this wave B finished so that we can measure a proper blue box where it's going to land. But for now, I'm still expecting that we gotta get this move to the upside. Possible that we might have this here as a W. We have this here as an X, and then we have another three waves, and then a move higher. But for now, I'm just looking at that here as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's why I have my wave A here and expecting for this and then this move to the downside before we can trade this one higher. All right, I think that's all what I had for you guys. Let me quickly go to a Bitcoin. Someone requested so this year. All right, so Bitcoin, this was our chat of the week. Like I've been expecting this. I haven't updated this year since Monday for some reason, because nothing has changed. I was still expecting this leg here. I was expecting that we get this move to the downside, and then this is exactly what we've got here. We've now reached into the blue box. So this is, for me, it is ready that we can execute this with our stop loss around here. Okay. So this was exactly my expectation. I've forecasted this. Once you've forecasted and the market delivers that exactly to you, it's very likely that it's going to do as you have expected. So this move to the upside is what I'm expecting from here. Okay. Let's see here. That small 1 hour confirmation on a Brent crude. I'll go back to Brent crude Tendai. Let me just finish up with Bitcoin. All right, so I'm sure there was a video that was posted by Victor yesterday. If you guys just check that one out of a Bitcoin, so we're just explaining this movie that we're expecting. So when this is what we're expecting here, this is I'm just gonna look at it at this last leg here. After we completed that wave 3, so we're expecting that we get this move to the upside for a wave 5. So I'm looking at this here. This is a 1, 2, 3 here, and this is a wave 4 in a minor. So now I'm looking at this last leg for a wave 5. But that wave 5 is extended, so I'm looking at these internals here. This is I'll show you on 1 hour rather. Right, so for now we are going to trade this one to the upside because of the blue box. But if you want more confirmation, you need to wait for the indicator for this RSI to trade above 15. That will be just confirming a momentum to the upside. But I'm going to execute a trade based on the blue box there. Okay, so for now, if you want to wait for the indicator, you still have to wait for this RSI to trade above the 50, but especially it needs to be the 4-hourly. But like I've said, looking at this here as completed, now I'm looking for this move to the upside here. For me, this is ready. I won't be posting it yet because the guys might not still be familiar with this blue box trading that we're just bringing now. So if you want to wait for the indicators, you wait for that. But if you want to execute this one, I'm giving you a go ahead with your stop loss below here. I don't know if Dr. Ben, you've got had something to say about Bitcoin, or are you happy with just what I've just explained here? Please label last wave of Bitcoin, the corrective wave. Okay, so you are looking at this. Okay, let's look at it. Okay, so when I forecasted this move to the downside, I was looking at this here as wave A here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a clear 5 wave to the downside, and let's see here. We got a 1, 2. This is a 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what might be happening here? We might be having this here as an expanding diagonal. We hardly talk about it, but it does happen in the market. So I'm looking at this here as our C wave here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is a wave 5 here. I don't know if you want me to put those labels, but I'm looking at this here as an A here. This whole thing here is a wave B here. This is an A here. And I'm looking at this here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is an expanding ending diagonal, and then we'll be expecting for this move to the upside. Okay, are you happy there, user? Or you still want me to put the labels? Right, okay, let's move on. I hope this is can be B, not can the B not be that big flat? Are you still talking about Bitcoin Tendai? Okay, I see what you're looking at. Are you looking at this here as a possible flat? Is this what you are looking at as a possible flat? And this is a C wave here. That's possible. That's possible, Chennai. But like I've said, when I look at it, I was looking at this year as an A. But obviously, as the market moves, it will change. I'm glad that you spotted that, Chennai. It's very highly possible. And if that's the case, then we might still have one more leg, because this might just be one more leg for find out that this is our A here and our B is here, and this is a C wave here. So it's still possible as long as it's going to stay within the blue box. We'll be expecting for this move here. Right, now that we've looked at these cryptocurrencies, let's look at Ethereum because we had a move here. Right, so let's have this one here. Let's see here. We are still within the blue box because this is where our blue box is. So we're still within the blue box here on Ethereum. So this might still be one of those that you like to execute here. This is one of the trade. It's still within the blue box. If you buy this one, you have to have your stop loss below this 1.618 here. Let me see if we've got any confluence here with the Fibonacci. Right, so you can see that we've already touched 138.2. I just mentioned earlier that there's something special about this 1.382 level, guys. There's something special about the market love to take this market, this price here. And if you look at that, this 138.2 was confluencing with 61.8. So this might be the trade that you really want to look at. Other than Bitcoin, you might like maybe to execute a trade on this one here. There was a confluence of this 5061.8 area with this blue box area here as well. So I'm expecting that we start to get this move to the upside here on Ethereum. So I'll just update this one here. I will just update it after the webinar. Let's look at Litecoin. I was still expecting that we're going to get a move to the downside, to the blue box. Let's see here. Right, so you can see the cryptos are almost all confirming. They are almost all in the blue box. We just missed the blue box here with a few pips. But the cryptos, guys, for me, they are ready that they can start to make a move to the upside here. So in any of the cryptos, you can just take one that is best, like Ethereum. You can just take Ethereum and then buy them instead of like executing trades on all of them. So this was the expectation that you're going to get here, and we've already got here. We just missed this one, so we might still just have one more down here. Just can just have one more down to the blue box, and then we start to get this move to the upside here. Ripple has nothing much there. So I'm still expecting that we get a move to the upside. So who was looking at this here as a leading diagonal here? This is a leading diagonal. This is a leading diagonal here, and we're looking at this here as a three-way structure for wave two, and we're expecting for a move to the upside for wave three. So we might just be building a nest here. So we might just be having this here, and then we start. This is our wave two, and then we start a move to the upside here. So this could just be a 1-2 in a green minute degree here. All right, guys. If you guys don't have any questions, please allow me to end session. I think that's all what I had for you guys. Okay, before I end tonight, I think you requested something on Brand Crude. You're welcome, Yusuf. Let's just look at this Brand Crude here. Tendai, if you can just rephrase your question. Let me just see here if I can see it. That small 1 hour confirmation on Brand Crude. Confirmation for a move to the upside or downside tonight, because this could play both ways. This can just still be a corrective structure like this, and this being a W, this being an X here, and then you have this move to the downside before a move higher. It can play out like that, or alternatively, what I'm looking at, this is what I'd love to see here. This here is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as an A here, and we get this move to the upside here. In any case, I'm not interested in buying this one here. At most, I can only be interested in shorting this move here for a C wave. But the move that I'm looking for is this one. This is the move that I'm initially looking for. So while we are still in this correction, it can be traded, but I'm only going to be looking to trade this C wave at most, or this leg to the upside here. Okay, please show me how I can hide my indicators when I'm doing my analysis. All right, guys, I'll just answer that question. Please allow me to end this webinar if we don't have any questions that are technically related. Right, so I guess we don't have any question. Cheers, guys, and have a good one. I'll see you guys on a live chat on Slack. If you've got any question, please feel free to throw them. I'll be happy to assist you guys. I'll be here almost for the next, let's see here, for the next 10 hours, I'll be here just to take your questions. Cheers, guys, and have a good one. Bye-bye.